Okay, so welcome to our podcast. This is a little bit different today because this podcast is a spin-off of our radio show. So this is just laid back. Just laid back, Will, because there's so many things I want to talk to you about. I was trying to think of a way to introduce you, but I think, in my opinion, you are, to me, the leader on peptide information. To me,
Thank
right?
you.
And I've talked to a lot of people in the peptide world, and I feel like you know more about it, and you're more well versed on peptides. And the thing is about peptides too, like, if I post this on social media, am I going to get flagged because I said the word peptide? Like, right? Is that going to happen?
It's a scary industry. It's hard to say anything.
Why? It's not like it's a COVID vaccine. It's not as controversial, is it?
Yeah, well, it kind of is right now, right? Because you have the research space, then you have the doctor, FDA approved space. So what's hard right now is we have influencers that can sell anything right now. So if you get an influencer to go sell a research peptide, there's no testing on that peptide. There's no doctor that looked it over. Nobody prescribed it to anybody. So you're selling things that people are injecting in their bodies with zero regulation. Mm-hmm. That's why it's so regulated. I think it's a little overboard for sure, but that's why it's regulated.
Which part's overboard? The regulation or the
shutting people's accounts down? And I mean, we do everything perfectly legal, right by the book, and we still get stuff shut down all the time.
Really? You'll make a post on Instagram or something? Mm-hmm. And your company is Vyora Wellness, which has consumed me in my life. your products in your company. I mean, like, I'm doing peptides from your company, and my son, who's 19, he wants them bad. He wants peptides bad. He was doing BPC. That's another thing. So BPC 157 is not approved yet, right? So that's a research peptide.
Yeah. And it's funny you say that about your son, because I've had 2 kids in my baseball academy that have come up asking about BPC and TB500 or the Wolverine blend. Uh-huh. This is something, this peptide in this blend, I'd give it maybe 3 to 4 years. I think you see this in professional sports at some point because there's really no downside to it. It's just upside.
Well, right now, I think it's banned in professional sports, isn't it?
It is. And that's why right now RFKs, I think that'll be one of the leading peptides that does get approved and FDA approved because it's so popular and it really works for anybody. Like, my dad was taking it for his knees, and then you got young athletes that want to take it. It works for everybody in so many different ways. I love that peptide.
So that's a research peptide, but you're saying that research peptide works.
It does work. I've taken it. A lot of people take it. I've bought in research peptides. Almost everybody who gets into this more holistic, call it biohacking wellness space, they're eventually, before I'd say a couple years ago, it was, I'm not touching that. It was like the gurus that were doing it.
Right.
Now today, everybody's doing it.
Everybody's doing it, right?
And it's gotten to the point now where people are just looking for the cheapest price. That's when you know there's a problem in the industry. Because now people have gotten so comfortable with injecting themselves now that they're like, oh, well, one of them works, so they all must be the same. So now they're price shopping. I promise you that cheap peptide online is not good quality at all.
So I first discovered peptides 4 years ago. BPC 157 and TB 500. My son tore his ACL, and I was in Mexico getting stem cells. And the doctor there, that was a research doctor there, who I've had on this podcast before, told me about these peptides and told me where to get them. So he goes, trust me, it works. So my son was in high school, and I got it and gave it to him, and it helped.
They're amazing.
It blew my mind. And then I was trying to tell people about it, and it didn't make sense. Like, no one understood what I was saying. They're like, well, if that's true, why wouldn't it be everywhere? Well, now it's everywhere. And now I want to be like, see, I told you, but I don't remember who was fighting with me back then.
So now with it being everywhere, now this kind of puts it under the government pressure to be like, the market wants this. If you guys aren't going to make this legal, we're just going to keep buying it regardless. And we're going to find it.
That's what the people are saying.
That's what they're saying. So that's why they're now going through, okay, let's get this stuff FDA approved. Let's get a doctor prescribed so that we could be safe. Because that's one thing with Vyora. Could Vyora also sell research peptides? Probably. We could probably make a wing of the company and sell them. But one of our things is safety. Like, it is very important that what you're putting in your body is safe, and it's going to contribute to your health journey anyway. Like, that's the whole point of why you're doing this.
So on your website, and one of the reasons I asked you to be on this podcast is because I've known you for 10 years. Yeah. I think you're a legit human being.
Thank you.
So I'm going to get like honest answers from you. But like your website, Vyora Wellness, this isn't a commercial. This is right. I don't want to make this a big commercial, but I love your product. So I love it. So VyoraWellness.com is the website. So how many peptides do you legal peptides do you have on your website?
Yeah, I want to say there's probably 5 or more. Mm-hmm. So our primary ones are going to be the GLP. Mm-hmm. Tirzepatide's our primary product. That thing is just amazing. We have semaglutide as well. We also have them in pill form, but I highly recommend tirzepatide injection is the best. Mm-hmm. And then our complementary peptides that are legal right now that we have. So we have Somorelin. We're just launching Tesamorelin. So those are growth hormone peptides. We have NAD+. We have the B vitamin shot. We have the GHKCU cream, which I just started and you just started.
Yeah.
And I'm liking that.
Yeah, for the face.
Yeah. I'm liking that. Yeah. So we got the cream. There might be a couple other ones. I just can't remember them right now. But those are glutathione. I'm taking that too.
I'm taking that.
We're on the same protocol.
Yeah. So the glutathione, I don't know what that does, but I like it.
I like it too. Yeah. I try to simplify everything. So like when I look at the space, one thing I learned is I used to be like really deep into the research, like the nitty gritty, but that kind of pulled me away from reality with people and having normal, real conversations. So I like know enough to understand the market. Because I think with these peptides, they're all bio-individual, right? We were having this conversation the other day. It's not going to work the same for everybody. Mm-hmm. The healthier you are, the better the peptide's going to work. The better you sleep, the more you hydrate, the more you work out, the peptides are going to work better. So you really, when you get into this peptide space, you're learning which ones work the best for you, but you should have one primary goal and just start with one peptide for that goal. Because I guarantee you, me and you know so many people right now that are on like 10 different peptides at one time.
I know a guy
I don't know which one works.
This buddy of mine, he's on so many of them and he gets it. So I think I've told you about this. I'd love for you to see my doctor. My doctor has this facility where she was there doing the doctor practice, but then the gym is connected.
Yeah.
So like I'll walk in to work out and they'll be like, hey, we need to get your blood today. So they just take my blood and then I go work out. And then I get my blood results that day or the next day, right? They also have the peptides there and stuff like that. And my buddy, he's a patient there too. He'll be like, man, I don't want to do the shots myself. So they do the shots for him there. So he'll go in there and get like 7 or 8 shots a day. And I'm like, man, I just don't want that.
I like to ask people, I like to be like, so which one's working? And they're like, that's a good question. I don't know. And I'm like, well, are you willing to stop any of them? No.
Right.
That's the sick part.
So the thing about what I liked about your thing is like, instead of going to some website and buying research peptides, I had to do the interview online and then the doctor gets it, right? And then the doctor prescribes what you need after you answer all the questions.
Yep.
So it's coming from a doctor, right? So you don't ever have to meet the doctor.
Right.
The doctor's going over your paperwork and then says, here's what you need, and then comes up with a dose. Then you get it sent to you at your house.
Yeah.
Is this the future of medicine?
Man, yes. The future, where I see medicine going is it's going to get very personalized. Medicine is going to become personalized because we have AI now. I was actually just on the phone earlier today with the CEO of a AI medical company. And what they do is they mine your old health information. So, the doctor you saw 10 years ago for your ankle thing. And now you have a new doctor this year that is doing something with your head, right? You have all this medical information. They're consolidating it using AI to pull very relevant data points from your entire medical history to provide your current doctor with every single marker possible in any medical history you've ever had in one place. So what that tells you is medicine's going to get personalized. How does medicine get personalized? I think it's going to be through peptides. Because peptides, to me, you should be able to upload all of your medical information somewhere. And then AI spits out, hey, here's the peptides you need to be on at these dosages. Here's the food you need to be eating with these peptides. Here's how you should exercise for what you're trying to get. And I think that AI is going to help personalize medicine. This is the start of it, right? So what you're describing is called asynchronous, where you could go on a medical form. You never have to get on the phone with anybody. You never have to do a video call, nothing. And you get cleared for that script. And one other cool thing that we have on our website is if you don't know which peptides you need, we actually have these cool quizzes that you could take on our website, and it'll help you. It'll ask you a bunch of questions and help you identify which peptide we sell is probably the best one for you to start on.
But where do you get your peptides?
Where do I get mine?
Yeah. No, like from Vyora. Where does Vyora get?
Oh, yeah. So how the process works is we're connected to compounding pharmacies. So we vet and look for compounding pharmacies all over the US. We have multiple ones in case one can't ship here or can't ship there. So that's kind of how compounding pharmacies work. Some of them will be, like I know pharmacies here in Arizona, they'll only ship to Arizona. That's it. They won't ship outside state lines. Then there's some compounding pharmacies that ship to 20 states or 30 states. So we connect. We have like a connection of pharmacies all over so we can ensure that we can ship to every state.
Do research peptides come from compounding pharmacies as well?
No. So that's the thing. So here's a big difference. When you get a peptide from Vyora, you get it shipped to you. It's mixed with the water. It's got ice packs or dry ice or whatever, so it stays cold. It's ready to go. When you get a research peptide, it comes as powder.
Right.
That powder came from a massive bag that got shipped on a shipping container from China or India, came over. That bag got ripped open in a facility somewhere in the US and got poured into that little vial and then immediately sold to you. Most companies aren't testing it. There's no quality control at all. That's why it's so cheap.
Some of those work.
Some of them work. Yes, they do.
So there has to be a certain brand that you believe in, right? So if somebody has like a research peptide that's working for them, they're getting it somewhere that it works.
100%.
But you don't want to go that way.
No, because it's the quality control, right? It's like the last thing I want is somebody to get hurt or have to go to the hospital for something. Like that falls on me. This is for people's health.
Well, how long have you been doing this now?
I've been in the weight loss space since 2014. I've been in the peptide space for probably the last 3-4 years. Probably 4 years.
So take me back to the weight loss space. What got you there?
Well, what got me there?
You're shredded.
Now I am.
Dude, as long as I've known you, you've been shredded.
I know.
I've never seen you not shredded.
So what's interesting is, one of my backstories is growing up in a small town, I was overweight as a kid. So when I was playing baseball, and I remember as a kid, we didn't have social media. So I'd go to the grocery store with my mom and I'd go straight to the magazine section. And I'd look in muscular development, men's health, and I'd be like, man, these guys look like athletes. I don't look like that. I can't even see my feet because my belly's covered.
You were that big?
Yes, I was. I'll show you photos. I was big. I grew up in a Mexican household. I had to eat 2 or 3 plates and finish all the tortillas.
What
drenched in butter.
What city?
Gallup, New Mexico.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Okay.
So that's what got me into it is I'd see these magazines, right? And they'd be like, I drink this whey protein from GNC. So I would tell my parents I was going to the movies and I would not go and I'd save my money, go to GNC and buy the chocolate protein. I remember mixing it with like lukewarm water. It was so nasty. That's when I first started, when I was super young, probably 13, 14 years old. I remember my best friend, his dad had a Bowflex when it first came out. Nobody ever used it. Right. That was the first thing I trained on. I was like, can I use your Bowflex? And I started training when I was probably 13, 14 and dieting in secrecy when I was 13, 14.
And then what?
Then I started losing weight in high school and I moved here to Arizona, kept playing baseball through college. After I realized I'm not going to play baseball anymore, like I'm done with this sport. I had Tommy John surgery in the middle of college. I was down at U of A. Then I went to GCU. I was at Scottsdale before that, Gateway before that. But when I got done with baseball, I was like, well, what am I really good at? Well, I'm really good at writing diets and exercise. I'm like obsessed with it. In fact, that's where I met Chuck. He was my strength and conditioning coach at GCU.
Chuck Howard?
Yes. That's how I know Chuck.
Did I introduce you to him?
No. Because I knew him from college, but I knew that you knew him because I'd see him on your stories.
Right.
Yeah. And then he came to LPA the other day to check it out.
He's an incredible human
He's
being.
amazing.
Yeah.
He was my first strength and conditioning coach at GCU.
He's one of my favorite people of all time,
I know.
Chuck Howard.
I know. So if you ask him, he'll tell you. He remembers. I was more obsessed with being in that strength and conditioning room and talking nutrition and training with those guys than I was with the baseball team.
When he was at GCU?
Yes, when he was the head strength and conditioning.
I was working out with him there.
You were?
I was working out with him there.
We probably crossed paths.
No, I would have talked to you then. I was there 8-9 years ago. I think he was the guy.
Oh, he was still there. Yeah.
He was still there. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I started working out with him at another place and I took my kids to go work out with him.
Yeah. So after that, I said, you know what? I'm going to stay in school, get my master's degree. I'm going to start my own business and I'm going to start it in weight loss. And that's what I did. And the first thing I did is I coached. I remember because I did it with no money. So I went on Facebook because Instagram wasn't really relevant at the time. And I said, I'll coach 10 people for absolutely free. I'd already been posting me working out, nutrition stuff. I'll coach 10 people for free. All I ask is you do a video testimony for me and let me use your before and afters. So I got like 7 people. So I crushed their results. And in like the first 30 days, I posted their photos. Then at 60 days, I posted. And then I just started charging people. It was $150 a month. My goal was to get to 100 clients. And then I'd leave my full-time job. And that's what I did. I got to 100 clients, put my 2 weeks in. And then after that, I've been in weight loss ever since.
What was your full-time job?
I was an admissions rep at GCU. So I would go to high schools and recruit kids to come over.
So then you're doing full-time training online? Full-time training?
Yeah, it was more so nutrition.
Nutrition.
It was all mostly nutrition
macros
coaching.
And all that
stuff? Yeah, macros. I'd write out their meal plans for them. And then that progressed and I got really good at it. And then after a few years, I'd worked with hundreds and hundreds of people. And then what happened is those people started coming back to me and they started being like, hey, what's this semaglutide stuff? What are these peptides? And I'm like, I already knew about peptides, but I never really looked into them. I was like, I'm not going to look into that. And then I was like, well, wait a second, let me look. When I understood what peptides do and how they're very holistic by nature and they work with your body's natural processes, I was like, wait, this could actually be a really good thing for weight loss because that's people's biggest struggle. Everybody knows what's good and what's bad when they shouldn't or when they should. The problem is the food noise and the addiction to food. It's an addiction. I'd argue it's one of the biggest addictions problems we have in the United States. This GLP solves that one problem of the feeling of being addicted to the food.
The first one, Ozempic or whatever it's called. I understand. So
and then they just got better and better.
Is Ozempic, right?
That's Ozempic, which is semaglutide.
So it's called semaglutide, but then companies call it Ozempic? I don't know how
that's the brand name. That's the patent name that they put on it.
That's why tirzepatide is called
Mounjaro.
Mounjaro, okay.
Is the brand name.
So Ozempic or semaglutide gets rid of the addiction to food.
Yeah, all of them do.
All of them do.
Yeah,
but I know like tirzepatide's got 2 things.
Yeah, it acts on 2 receptors in the brain. Retatrutide acts on 3. Semaglutide acts on 1.
See, what I've noticed is these habits that I have. Like, since I've been working with you guys, I like to, no matter what, if I'm sitting on the couch watching TV, I'm eating popcorn or grapes. No matter, even if I'm not hungry.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm watching TV, I got to eat it. But what's happened to me is I stopped doing that. And by the way, I buy popcorn, like cases and cases of popcorn, and I usually finish it in a week.
Yeah.
I have so much popcorn now because I haven't been eating it.
Yeah.
It took me a long time to sit on the couch and not snack. It just went away.
Right.
That's the part that blew my mind.
It's mind-blowing.
It is. And then there's so yesterday was the end of the week for me on the stuff. And I just started mowing. And I was like, oh my God, I probably, right? And I just, so now, and then it's weird how you just forget to eat.
I know.
Right?
That happens to me. It'll be 2, 3 o'clock. And I'm like, shit, I haven't eaten yet.
Right. So then what you have to do, if I was being a coach, is shove protein down your throat. Because all I've heard about the GLP-1s is that you don't eat and your body starts using the protein, you start using your muscles. So you've got to shove protein even when you don't want it, right? So even if you're not hungry, eat.
Yeah, that's a very true statement. That reminds me of like the bodybuilding industry, right? It's when your calories get so low, your body does eat away muscle. It converts amino acids into energy and uses it. So it is important to keep, and that's why when I first got into the GLP space, I was like, how do we pair this with nutrition? Because I knew that was going to be a problem. That's no different than the old school HCG diet. It was 500 calories a day. Of course you're going to lose weight. Of course you are. But you're going to lose muscle, your skin. And that's where you hear Ozempic face and it loses muscle. No, those are the people that are using the peptide as a crutch and thinking, oh, so if I just take a high dose of this, I don't have to do anything. This is amazing.
So that's how you get because
that's how people mess up.
Ozempic face.
Yep.
I can see it. And it's kind of weird. So you do Ozempic to not have it. You have to not have the weird face.
You got to eat.
You got to eat.
You got to eat. You just got to make sure you're consistent on a higher protein diet for sure, keeping fat a little low. But I don't want people to think that they have to get on this laid out nutrition plan. It's just simple awareness of, it's just education. That's it. If you know that, you know to eat.
Yeah, my wife, she's, I've talked her into it. So she's on week 3 of the tirzepatide from Vyora. And she's like, what if in the beginning, she's like, what if this is like that fen-phen? We find out, like, remember fen-phen?
Yeah.
It was like some pill and heart started exploding.
Yeah.
And I was like, this stuff's already in you, right?
Yeah.
The thing about peptides,
We make them.
It's already there.
We make them naturally. We make every peptide already. That's why, why BPC has become so popular. Because if you take the pill version, it will heal issues inside of your gut. It'll heal it because your body already makes it. You're just giving it more of it. So that's why peptides are amazing. Mm-hmm. And that's why we stick with the FDA, because safety is priority, just like what your wife was saying. Like, these are FDA approved. These have been looked over, tested. It's all about safety.
Are there lots of companies like yours?
I would say there's a good amount, probably a handful.
Because yours is the first one I've heard of, and I've not heard of any other company that's doing it the way you. I've heard of all the research companies. Yeah. I've not heard of the legit FDA approved companies.
Right. And a lot of the ones doing it are a lot bigger because they have a wider product range, right? Like, they sell ED medication, hair loss medication. It's like Roe. Oh. Right? Roe sells GLP.
I just heard about Roe 2 days ago.
Really?
I'm having lunch with this friend of mine. And he starts telling me about this pill he takes 10 minutes before it goes down. He goes, you take this pill, put it under your tongue, and you're good to go.
What is it? Is it the Blue Chew thing?
It's a red pill, and it help you with an erection.
Yeah. So it's got the combo of all the stuff in it.
It has on there. It says it's
Sildenafil
and something else.
And the other one, Sildenafil.
He said it's Viagra and Cialis mixed.
Yeah, that's what it is.
And it's Roe. And I was like, he goes, I got one in the car for you. He gave it to me. And I showed it to my wife, and I was like, I don't know if this is worthy of just a weekend. I feel like this is more like we're going on vacation.
Going to Vegas.
We're going to go to vacation for a couple of hours. I go, then I can use this. But
the tear open.
I had never heard of Roe before.
They're huge.
Do they do the Ozempic too?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they do all of it. Weight Watchers does it.
So you're just staying in your lane. You're not going to open up. You're not going to be like, hey, let's do erectile dysfunction. Let's do hair.
No. I think the peptides and staying in the holistic, in the wellness space is the way to go, especially because the ones that are going to become legal at some point. I think that's where all medicine's going anyway.
Is the Roe thing not FDA approved?
Yeah, all their stuff is. Majority of their stuff is. I believe it is. I don't want to say it is 100%.
I don't understand, because I would think that, like, is it just you, or do you have like a board of people, investors? Is it just you?
No, it's just me and my partner, George.
Oh, yeah, because I would think that people would be like if you had a board, like this was Succession, they'd be like, we need to start selling erectile dysfunction. We need to start, that's like a huge moneymaker, I would think.
You know, what's interesting is, in the peptide world, there's other peptides for that too, right? There's like the I think it's 141, which enhances arousal. And then there's like the oxytocin you could get. Now, again, none of these are FDA approved, so I don't want to tell people to take them. But there are other routes of doing that, right? Because that's more of like a traditional pharmaceutical medication.
Mm-hmm. Are there influencers? I don't like to use the word influencers. Are there like people on YouTube or social media in this space that you respect? Because there's a couple that I've gone through phases of liking somebody and then going, they're full of it. Now they've sold out.
Yeah.
And there's one guy that I just freaking love. I love everything this guy says.
You know what? I'm going to share after this podcast. Ooh. I started following this guy. And what he does is he finds all these gurus and he digs into their past and he tells you about them and like who they really are. And I have to turn away from his page because I swear there's like 4 or 5 people that I was like, I thought that they were like super legit. I haven't even watched the videos yet.
Really?
Yeah, I'll share the page.
I wonder
with
if it's who I know. I know somebody. I watch a guy that trashes other people.
Yeah.
But the guy that I like is Mike Israetel. Have you seen him?
I can't put a face to the name.
Guy. He's like, I take steroids. I take this. I do this. He was a professor at university. He's just freaking. I think he has so much knowledge on stuff. Like he sounds like you when you're talking about the stuff. Like he just knows what he's talking about. Yeah, you should find him right now. I'm into his stuff nonstop. Yeah, I like to find people like that. One thing I try not to do is get like attached to a person. Because then they start to convince me of things. Yeah. So I'll usually, when I'm like doom scroll, like I doom scroll like health stuff. Right. So do I. Yeah. So I'm just I'll get on the treadmill and early in the morning, just start and I just walk at a nice pace just to warm up. And I get on YouTube Shorts. Yeah. And I just start scrolling on health and fitness stuff or retatrutide or GLPs. Yeah. And I just start looking. And so far I have yet to see I don't see anything negative on peptides. I haven't. Yeah. You know, it's one of those things too, where when I'm doom scrolling, I know enough information myself where I can hear keywords and be like, okay, this person knows what they're talking about. I'm going to keep listening. But I can watch somebody in the first
5 seconds and be like, they're going to sell something here. That's what they're doing.
That's what
it's a pitch.
Like.
This is a pitch.
And a couple of these guys, I bought some of their stuff. Like I fell for the hydrogenated water thing. You know that thing. Did you ever see that? Like it's this container. You hit a button, it makes your water hydrogenated.
Yeah.
And then you drink some. It was like $300. I bought that. Right. And
did it work?
Well, I don't know if it worked as far as was good for me, but it worked. It made the bubbles. and I drank it for like a month, and then it broke. And I tried to let them know that it broke. They never got back to me.
Wasn't that a Brecca thing?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So then and he's going to be on this podcast. And then he started selling the pills.
Yeah.
Hydrogenated pills. So I bought those. And those took too long. You put the pills in, you got to wait for them to dissolve. Like I'm hustling in the morning.
Yeah,
so,
he's good. I've seen a lot of his stuff, and I know people who know him personally, and they like him a lot. So, there's been some things said, of course it's online stuff, but relatively he's pretty good. Do you remember before the hydrogen water, it was the pH alkalizing and everybody was putting the kits in their house? Did you put a kit in your house?
No, I mean, I have all the filtered water stuff, but I don't have a kit.
Yeah. The whole alkalizing trend.
Yeah.
The trends there's so many trends. I was thinking about that actually on the way here, and I was like, just thinking about the whole biohacking thing. And I'm like, really, the biohacking that works is just not sexy. The stuff that actually works, it's just not sexy. Like sleep, hydration, working out consistently, mobility, sunlight. Like those aren't sexy. They all work.
Right. Yeah, you're right.
They work so well.
Yeah, but if you can do the other things.
Well, they're fun.
Yeah.
The sauna, the infrared.
Yeah.
I will say when I was training and doing the sauna immediately after the workout sessions, I did notice I was retaining more muscle and I was getting leaner faster. And then all these studies just recently came out that post-workout sauna sessions at a certain temperature increase muscle building, growth hormone, everything by 60% or 69%.
I sauna every day.
Yeah.
I sauna before I came here.
Yeah.
I try that. I'm doing it for the cardiovascular, for the heart stuff. I got, I'm trying to get my heart as healthy as possible, working on my VO2 max and stuff.
And then I was doing the ice baths right after the workout. And then all those studies came out.
They said not to do
it after the workout. Like, oh my, I did that for 3 months.
Right.
See, that's the way the trends come out and we all do it. And then something like that drops. And it's like, oh, by the way, don't do it.
So are peptides a trend?
No chance.
No, you don't think they're going away?
Well, here's the thing. They've been around for... naturopathic doctors have been prescribing these things for 25 plus years. They've been around a long time. They just weren't mainstream.
Like which ones?
I don't even really remember what they would have been. Not those. No. But peptides in general have been around because our body makes them naturally. They turned mainstream when Big Pharma picked up semaglutide, turned it into Ozempic, and hit the market with that. I remember seeing financial reports when Ozempic came out. And I remember seeing that they talked about it at a conference, some big pharma conference, that GLP-1s will make big pharma more money than the COVID vaccine did. And they shifted all funding into the GLPs, all their funding for big pharma. They went all in on the GLPs.
And that's happening now.
It's happening now. Because look, when you're working with the big pharma, right? They're going for insurance coverage. Your insurance is covering it. We're cash pay. That's insurance coverage. Well, if you look at the data in the United States, 55% of America is considered obese. Not over 75% is overweight. 55 is clinically obese. Just do the math. They charge insurance $1,500 a month for that product. Just do that math. Do that math. I don't think the calculator has that many zeros. Right. You got to turn it sideways.
Shift gears for a second. You first brought up baseball.
Yeah.
Because you play baseball, but you have this interesting side project that has skyrocketed, right? And it's about to skyrocket even more. Can we get into that?
Yeah, LPA.
What it's called LPA, which stands for?
Legendary Prep Academy.
Okay.
So what we are is we built there's a ton of academies around the valley, hitting academies, pitching academies, any type of specific skill for baseball. There's not a school similar to what IMG is in Florida, where all high school kids go because they're prepping you and developing you for the next level. That doesn't exist west of the Mississippi.
For baseball.
For baseball. Or a big school in general like IMG.
Because there are some schools or some basketball academies here.
Yeah. For basketball.
Right, for basketball, yeah.
And nobody's put the whole thing together. Nobody's built a replica, a better version of IMG, every sport at the highest level in the West.
And that's IMG.
That's IMG. So we started with baseball here. We've been in it 2 years. We have about 65 players. We've put in the first 2 years, 11 kids into college in the first 2 years. We have 2 kids in the SEC right now, which is crazy for 2 years as a baseball program. We have a show coming out. We got picked up by a TV show called Teen Moms, which is really interesting. That'll be on Paramount. And that's backed by Kim K, which is huge. It was her best friend's idea.
Kim Kardashian.
Yes. Yeah. So it was her best friend's idea. So she's backing this show. She's been posting about it. The show's going to air in September.
But it's about the moms.
It's about the families. And yeah, so the premise of the show is going to be something along the lines of, at the age of 14, these kids are already invested in their sport. Like they're going to go play professionally next year. Like the families are invested. Home life is kind of chaotic because the parents live through the kids. Right. So it's chaotic. They want to know, why'd you swing this way? Do we need to do this? So home is a little chaotic. We're the safe space at the academy. So that's kind of what the show's going to depict. And there's going to be some drama. I could tell you that. I've heard the stories on what was filmed. It's going to be.
But weren't you there, or your coaches were there? Or because no, they were in their house.
This is outside. Oh, dude, they rented out a lesbian bar for one of the moms. They took all the dads out one night to find one of the dads, like a girlfriend. They rented that really cool place in Jerome that looks like an old wedding venue. It's like up on the hill. They put all the families in there, stocked it with liquor, and just let them have fun. They just that's filmed it. 2 of the parents almost got in a fight. It's going to be, but then it's going to be wild.
The kids come back and they train at your academy, and you know these kids.
Oh man.
So you don't really know their families, you know the kids.
Yeah. And I try to, I get invited out, and a lot of the times I just don't go because I don't want to put myself in that situation.
But when you start an academy, how do you recruit kids to come to your academy?
The coaches. Well, that was one of the main things is we pay our coaches probably 40% more than your average high school coach gets paid.
So how many coaches do you have?
We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
But when you first started, when you had this idea, and this is separate than Vyora Wellness, different
separate.
people, different partners, different whatever.
Yeah.
So when you put it together, how do you come up with, we're going to pay these coaches more money? Where do you start up with that? Do you go to bank and get a loan? Like, how do you start?
Yeah. So funny. So this was an idea May of 2024. We were sitting at Snooze at Kierland. We're at Snooze. The idea gets dropped, makes a ton of sense to me.
Who's we?
Me, George, a couple other business partners.
Oh, but George is your partner in Vyora as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he's also your partner.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So your pitch is to George. Or
Yeah. So, and I got a few of my friends together. So we narrowed down the idea, and I said, okay, let me just do a rough estimate on what this is going to cost. First and foremost, we got to see where we're going to get a building. That was the first thing. That's like, if we can't figure that out, we might as well scratch the idea because we can't build anything. We're not going to go build up a Series A investment fund, right? So we found a spot, and we're like, I think we can remodel that. So we put together $1 million. That's it, 1 million. It was an idea. May of 2024, we opened the doors in August, completely remodeled the building in 2 months, hired the coaches. We made sure that the coaches, not only did they have to have played college baseball, but played beyond college baseball, so in the minor leagues, and they were already coaching club teams. So the moment they announced that they were coaching at a high school that was specifically based on development and all the tech we have in there, kids followed them to the school. When we opened the doors, we had like 13 kids. We barely had enough for a team. We didn't have a league. We didn't have a field, nothing. So we pushed through that first year. And then the second year, that's when it started to explode. And now this third year, we should see the same thing. And then with the show, and then we're looking at building a campus after that.
But when you first started, where and who did you guys play?
So we actually played in this league. It was what league was it called? It was basically not your normal AIA league with like Brophy and Horizon and those. They were like 1 and 2A schools. It was the only league that allowed us to come in. Well, we had these high caliber players. So we're going out some of these games. There was one game we had to stop the game because our hitters, if anybody knows baseball out there, Our guys in varsity, their exit velo, like our top hitters, it's above 100, which is very hard for high school. That's college level. These are like kids that go to 2A schools that decided to play baseball like a year ago. So some of these kids are hitting the ball so hard, we had to stop the game. We're like, this isn't safe for your players.
So at some point, did you get into the AIA?
No, so the AIA, they won't let us in. That just like IMG every big academy faces this. A lot of these basketball academies, right?
Yeah.
They can't go play Brophy
Right.
and Hamilton.
Right.
They won't let them because the academies, they see them as like, you guys break the rules. You guys have a super team. You could get kids from anywhere, which we can.
Right.
That's why they won't let us in.
So is there now a league for that?
Oh, yeah.
Like, did you talk to anybody at IMG and pick their brain on how they do it?
Some people there, we're getting ready to talk to the former CEO of IMG that helped them through their merger because they sold for $2 billion. Oh
my gosh.
Yeah, that's how much they sold for.
Wow.
That's why I'm building it here in the West.
So where are you now? We have the building.
We got the show coming. We're talking to investors right now to build out a mini campus. So we'll build a baseball stadium, softball stadium, and we'll build dorms. So now we can house kids from all over the US and bring them in, just like IMG. Then we'll expand out into softball. Then we'll expand out the sports after that. So it'll probably be golf, low barrier to entry sports. And then we'll do the big boy sports, football, basketball, wrestling. We'll build a football stadium,
Will
the whole
you
thing.
take any kid or do they have to qualify? Like what if they suck or do you have A teams?
No, they will take any kid. So I think that's one of the key components of these academies like ours is that's a misconception. We were having this conversation earlier. People think you have to be really good to come to these academies. That's not it. It's for development. So I always say like, if let's say a kid was going to a school down the street and they may have gotten recruited by a low-level junior college. If that kid now comes to our academy, they shouldn't go to a junior college anymore. Now they should probably go to like a good D2.
So when you're a kid and you go to your academy, how's it work? 6 a.m. this, 7 a.m. this?
Oh, yeah.
What is that?
It's strict. They have report times. They are told exactly what to wear every day. They have to lock their phones in a case. They are by the hour. They have skill work. They go batting cages, skill work, strength and conditioning, speed. Then they go into the classroom. So they do class for 2 hours a day. The rest of the day is baseball. Traditional high school, you do school all day and you have 2 hours of practice. We flipped that script. That's what we're doing. And
the classes will get them into let's say they do it and they decide they don't want to play baseball in college.
Oh, yeah.
They're accredited through
fully accredited, partnered with the NCAA. They could even take college courses.
When you were putting it together and you came up with $1 million, everybody just put in money?
Yeah.
And that's how, and you just got $1 million and everybody just.
That's it. That's when you go to your friends and you're like, look, just do it. They're like, all right. Versus, raising the capital and you got to show numbers and all this stuff.
But it hasn't started to pay for itself yet, has it?
No.
Okay.
No, it's about at break even.
But once that show launches.
Oh, yeah.
On Paramount Plus with Kim Kardashian, look out.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
I'd imagine that's going to be
probably get really prepared for that because everything she touches goes crazy.
I know. They did entertain potentially doing a launch party here and bringing her down.
And?
Well, I don't know. I hope. Fingers crossed.
So it's not like you don't talk. The producers came in, did their thing, and you're out of it. Like they don't talk to you. Hey, Will, what if we do this? Or hey, Will, tell us about these people. No, well, what's good is one of my really close friends, his name's Brant, over in LA. So he was a big time producer for a long time. He produced The Biggest Loser, Bar Rescue, all those big shows. So he's been kind of guiding me through this whole process because he's worked with ITV. He knows. He told me this is exactly how they're going to lay the show out. This is how they're going to film it. He told me that at the beginning. This is what they're going to do with the parents. This is how they're going to place you guys. And that's exactly what they did. So what was really cool and was really interesting about this process is when we got approached, this is the first time this concept has been showed on TV. Nobody's ever done a baseball teen moms thing. They didn't even want to do a pilot. They wanted to go straight to series, 8 episodes and no pilot. So that's a rare thing to happen. So will they do a season 2 with you guys or will they go to different academies? The plan is to do season 2 with us. The plan is to follow these kids. Kind of like Mormon Wives, follow the every year. Follow them all the way through because they split up the group in a very interesting way. So it's like half the kids are average players that have potential to develop into good players. And then there's a couple other kids who are extremely good players. That already have
they'll most likely be like, they're going to go play at an SEC school, probably get drafted, maybe make it to the big leagues. So they're following these two like sets of families. And that's the game plan, is to follow them all the way through high school.
That's, man, so many great things happening to you.
I know, it's crazy.
But let me jump back to peptides for a second.
Yeah.
We should got to get Kim Kardashian on Vyora. Send her the link. Hey, by the way, check this out. If you're into, I saw
by the way,
she
you
takes
could lose
like
10.
30 supplements a day or something like that. She takes.
She'd be good for our microdosing. You know, we were one of the first companies to launch microdosing tirzepatide.
So that is what, every couple days, every day?
No, so the script actually lasts 60 days. And it's a very small dose. So this is specifically for people. If you look at what's trending right now, let's go into the GLP. It's getting tested for so many other things. They're testing it for alcohol abuse. It's helping people stop drinking because it stops the addiction feeling.
I think it's ruining Vegas.
Have you heard?
I've talked at Vegas. I've heard that Vegas has got like nothing going on. The casino, no one's drinking anything. The clubs are dying. I swear. And they think it's because Gen Z and Gen Z doesn't drink.
They're not drinking.
They're doing friggin' edibles. They're doing that kind of stuff. And now this Ozempic stuff. I've heard that for real.
They probably have billboards when you're driving into Vegas with like Ozempic and a big X on it.
Probably. It's killing them.
Yeah, but so they're testing it for things like that. But the big thing with the microdosing, and you'll see specifically with women, is they're microdosing it because it reduces inflammation. That's a big problem, especially with autoimmune diseases and stuff like that. Inflammation is the root cause of any disease. So any opportunity to reduce inflammation, you're just giving yourself a better opportunity to get healthier. So we have a lot of people that are on the microdosing protocol just for that.
Yeah, I'm all into I had heard all the different things it does. So like for me, I got like the visceral fat I've been trying to get rid of. I've got these big heart tests coming up, and I heard there's just so many extra benefits besides losing weight. Or because you lose weight, all these other things happen that are great, right? So,
right.
A question about that though. I've seen in the last 2 days, this is going to sound crazy, but peptides for pets. Have you seen that? 2 days I've seen it. And I'm like, is this real? And then my wife goes, ask Will about this. So is it because our dog has got like hip problems? And she's like, maybe it can help Charlie with his hips. I'm like, I don't know, but have you heard of that yet?
So I'm actually surprised you don't see more vets sharing this kind of stuff, because the veterinary industry has zero regulation. That's one of the craziest industries around is vets, because it's unregulated completely. So if I'm a veterinarian, I'd be pushing peptides for the pets right now for sure.
See, well, it's like when I told you 4 years ago, I got a hold of BPC 157 and TB 500, and at the time, I don't know if it's changed, but on the label it says not for human use. And I'm all, but if it's not for human use, what's it for?
I know.
Animals. So, I mean, can you put it, I haven't seen anything yet. My wife sent me an Instagram post of a dog, and it said peptides for pets. And she was ask Will about this. I'm like, okay, I don't know.
Yeah.
But you're right. It makes sense.
It makes
But why would
sense.
it work for a pet? No, I mean, I heard there's different, we're molecules apart.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't see why it wouldn't. I've heard of people, usually, you know what? It's usually the people who own peptide companies that I know of that like own research companies. Mm-hmm. They're putting peptides in everything. I think they're putting it in their food. I don't know, but they're sticking their animals with it for sure.
In their food?
No, that was a joke.
That was wild. When I first heard about the peptides, I became friends with this guy, just on the phone friends, where he owned a peptide company, a research one, the big one. It was the one, which now I think got bought by Big Pharma and shut down. And he told me, he goes, when you mix the BPC and the TB500, he's like, you can either inject it or squirt it under your tongue. It goes right in. And I was like, oh, okay. And he goes, but if you inject it, it's better. So I always inject it. So that's why you probably squirt it in the food, and then the dogs will probably
could
see what happens. But
and you just stick the dogs. I remember those dogs don't even feel anything.
They don't feel
I used to give my dog, he had diabetes, so we had to give him insulin shots.
Yeah.
That was super easy.
What's the biggest success story you've seen off of one of your products?
Oh, man.
Because Vyora Wellness has been around how long?
Vyora has been around for probably a year and a half-ish. Yeah, about a year and a half. How many
customers do you guys have already?
We're probably close. We're somewhere between around 1,700 to 2,000, I'd imagine, that come and go. But some of them are on multiple peptides. Some of them are on one. Some of them stop and then restart.
But is there a success story that you can...
Not a very specific one, because we do work with a lot of people. We haven't really gone in and like pulled out what are our biggest weight loss or biggest whatever. And sometimes you kind of veer away from that. Like I used to do that a lot. And sometimes people get so obsessive with, cause I used to run like challenges, right? And I'd be like, post your before and after in the community. Well, then people would just start going nuts because I'd give away like $2,000 grand prizes and they'd start going nuts. And I'm like, okay, they're doing something else too. Oh. And now other people are like not motivated anymore. They're like, I can't look like that. Is this not working? That's what I noticed is when people would start to really share a lot of like crazy transformations, I'd start getting questions like, is mine not working? Is it not working? It's like, hold on, don't compare yourself to other people. Yeah. So we try to not like share a ton of that and just more so stay on the health side. But I mean, it's because some people could lose a ton of weight, but then half of that weight is muscle. Yeah. And then some people lose half that weight and they look way better.
I've been on every diet possible. And one of the most successful diets I had was the one that I didn't work out on.
Right?
I was the skinny fat. I lost 100-something pounds. And
What'd you do?
I was eating cookies.
Just cookies?
Diet. They were these oatmeal cookies. You're supposed to eat 6 a day. And if you worked out, if you went for a walk, you could have a 7th. So that's all I ate.
Did you time them out?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was great. And then
Did you like an alarm?
No, I just, when I was hungry and I drank a lot of water and then it was barely any calories, but then my weight just came off. I went from 300 and something to 206. And I was no muscle tone whatsoever.
Really?
In fact, I remember one time I was getting a massage. I went and get a massage, and this lady, the massage therapist, goes, "I love giving you massage." And I go, "How come?" She goes, "You have like no muscle tone." I was just
fired.
I was like clay, and then I started doing it right and exercising and stuff. Now I feel like I'm in a pretty good place right now. By the way, when it comes to the GLP-1s, are you? And I don't know if this is a debate or not, but I've read a couple different things. When do you go off it, or do you?
That's a really bio-individual answer, right? So I believe that when people reach their goal, they should convert to microdosing, run that for a few months, and then test being off of it. And I think there's no problem coming back on at a low dose and then coming back off. Because when you get on the peptide doesn't actually like go disintegrate fat in your body. And I think that's a misconception that people think, okay, I inject it in and now these little things go around and they find fat cells and then they just vaporize them. It's not what it does. Mm-hmm. It kills your appetite so you don't eat over consume food. It regulates your blood sugar. So now your blood sugar is regulated. It takes people out of being pre-diabetic. It regulates your energy levels and it slows down digestion. So when you do start to eat, you get full right away. That was that was probably my biggest takeaway from them is like, I would normally go to Chipotle, get a full bowl, right? Stacked to the top with the sour cream, guac, everything, bag of chips and a tortilla on the side. If I go order that right now on a GLP, I will get through 1/3 of that bowl and I'll be staring at the food. Like if I take another bite, I'm going to throw up. That's never happened to me in my life.
So are you currently on a GLP?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I'll probably stay on them, even if it's microdose.
And so when you microdose it, are you doing it every other day?
When I do it, I would probably do it every day. So, I'm sorry, like once a week, because the injections are once a week.
Right, but the microdose, isn't it more than that?
Well, it depends. It depends on the protocol. It depends on the doctor.
Because like the glutathion that we're both on is twice a week.
Yeah, twice. Yeah. Are you doing that Tuesday, Thursday?
It said that on the bottle, but I forget. So I am doing it twice a week. Yeah, but I haven't. Yeah. And the NAD too. What's that do for you? NAD plus.
At first I was against NAD because my first experience with NAD was an IV.
Mine too.
And both times I did it, I felt terrible the rest of the day.
I felt terrible during the IV.
Oh, I felt terrible during it too.
Oh, but I didn't feel terrible afterwards.
Oh, I did. I was like, I just don't get it. And then I tried it again. I'm like, look, stuff just doesn't work for my body. Then when I did the injections, then I didn't feel anything crazy at first. Then I started to feel like more of a natural energy that I just kind of kept throughout the day. That's what I noticed from NAD when I was injecting myself.
It's supposed to be really good for your brain and really good.
All kinds of good stuff. That's what I tell people too. Like, you want to get hyped up, just go Google, like, what are the benefits of this? And it'll show you things and you're like, oh, I didn't know it did that. Who cares if it's a placebo for you anyway? Who cares? Mm-hmm. It works.
It works.
That's why I tell people, like, if I gave you a sugar pill And I was like, Johnjay, you're going to lift. You're going to go do bench day. You're going to lift through the roof. You're going to PR. I'm telling you, take this. It's game over. You're going to be like, hell yeah. And it could just be sugar. And I guarantee you, you'll probably go hit a max.
Yeah.
And then I'll be like, guess what? It was sugar.
That's how strong the mind is, right?
Exactly. So who cares?
Yeah.
Even on some things.
But when I started taking the NAD+, I'll tell you quick, I was watching it. I heard that it was to help people get off heroin, and it was an 8-hour drip, right? So I was like, it's 8-hour drip, gets people off addicted for heroin. So, and they said it's really good for you. And this guy, David Sinclair from Harvard, was a big believer in it. So I got an IV place to come, and I was like, I want to try this. And so I did like 500, and I was like, oh, that sucks. And I go, I don't want to wait 8 hours. I go, give me 1,000. I want to do it in 20 minutes. And I thought my heart was going to collapse. It was like someone took a bat, started beating me in the chest with this thing, right? But I was doing that I think I did it for about a year, once a month for a year. I would do it in 20 minutes. Now I was taking about 400 milligrams, giving me a shot in the butt. And I would do it about 4 o'clock in the morning when I was getting upstairs to the radio station to be like, oh, I gotta lay down. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And then I felt fine. Now you got me microdosing it, which is different because now I'm putting it in my stomach, which is different.
Yeah.
But I think it's such a small dose. I don't know if I feel it, but I know it. I believe in it.
Right.
So.
And sometimes that's it. Like you just got to know it's working and that's why I tell people you should always be getting your blood work done. Look at all your numbers, look at markers. I'll tell your doctor, okay, I want to improve these, and then hop on some peptides or something and then go check your blood work. That's how you know if things are working or not.
By the way, I have an idea. I want to do it. I'm probably not going to do it, but if I pitch it to you and you decide to do it, then you got to let me be your partner. I thought of this water, coming up with a water, and it just plain good water, but calling it placebo. It's whatever you want.
It's whatever you want.
You want it to be an energy drink? It's an energy drink. You want it to be coconut water? It's coconut water. You want it to be soda? It's soda. It's placebo. Whatever you want it to be.
That's hilarious.
Because you see like that liquid death? That's just plain water. That dude's worth $500 million right now.
Isn't that crazy?
It's just water, right? But it's
That's all
because
it
it says
is.
liquid death. So if you had placebo.
Yeah.
Here, man. It's whatever you want it to be. Yeah. Oh, it's got electrolytes. No, it doesn't.
You can have different labels. One's like an energy label.
Yeah.
One's a
energy.
nighttime level.
Placebo go to sleep.
Yeah.
Placebo whatever.
Yeah, but it's all just water.
So when you sell your peptide company for $1 billion, remember that when we start placebo together?
I know, we will. I'm in.
Okay, so let's give out some websites and social media. Oh, first of all, Vyora, where does Vyora come from? The name Vyora.
Oh, that's interesting. So it's a play on two different, like aura, somebody's aura, right? And Vi's like vitality. Or so it's combining those two, like vitality and aura all together, just taking a very holistic approach to everything. That's what it means.
VyoraWellness.com is a website to go get your peptides.
Yeah.
To go get your GLPs, to get everything. And it's doctor supervised. Which is very cool.
Doctor prescribed, everything. It's monthly. It's a monthly subscription. You cancel anytime. We'll change your dose.
Once you get your stuff, it just comes every month.
Every month.
Fill out the thing. It keeps coming every month.
Yep, every month. And if you need to change your dose, you could talk to the doctor. You could go in and ask your doctor questions. And we're working on building a lot of stuff out for that company. So everything's about the customer experience there and just making sure that they're on a progressive track. It's not like a research site where you buy it and good luck. Good luck. It's not that.
And the social media is Vyora Wellness, VyoraWellness.com, and then the baseball. What's that? Is that on social media?
Yeah, that's a Legendary Prep Academy. Definitely check out that social media too.
Okay.
You'll see all of our players. The rankings came out. This is crazy. We have a kid, he's going into 9th grade. He's the number 1 ranked 9th grader in the state. He's the number 2 ranked 9th grader in the nation.
Wow.
He was pitching last year on our varsity as an 8th grader, throwing 93 miles an hour as an 8th grader.
Well, I would assume the pros are looking at him already, aren't they? Right? They know who he is.
Yeah, we've got, that you'll see all those ranked kids. That's a really cool company. When the TV show comes out, it's going to be nuts.
And that's coming on Paramount Plus in
Paramount
September?
Plus. They said it'll air in September.
All right. Well, thank you, Will, for jumping on my podcast.
This was awesome.
Was it?
Yeah.
Good. Thanks. I had fun.
Thanks.
Thanks for getting me healthy.
I know. We got it.
Okay, so welcome to our podcast. This is a little bit different today because this podcast is a spin-off of our radio show.